artists and citizens creating a lot of very creative ways of reclaiming public space.
The Grand Millennium Plaza in Sheung-wan, a public space. The FM Theatre Group is known for its street plays. But the moment it's spotted setting up at the plaza, a security guard is on the phone. More guards in plain clothes converge. Then the police arrive.
But I told them we do not have any speakers and monitors.
Yeah. Do you think you have the right to be here?
Yes, we do, because we have freedom of speech. We are not offending the law.
We notice this man secretly filming us. We return the favor. He slips away.
You think it's the management guy who called in?
I think so, because usually they will try to ask policemen's help.
We approach the mystery filmmaker to ask him some questions. Again, he quickly slips away.
What are you going to do? Are you going to stop it or not?
你哋喺度做表演咧，你哋有你嘅自由嘅，你有權利㗎嘛。
係啊。
我哋咧，警方咧，而家只係就算係咧，都係勸喻你哋或者細聲少少，又或者唔好阻到人。咁我哋唔會干涉你喺度做表演嘅。
Do they understand this is a public space?
你哋知，
我哋知，
你哋知嘅，即係呢度喺個公共。Yes, they know that. They know. Story goes on. The guy wants a beautiful or a more sexy girlfriend. Everyone is enjoying it.
I think it's crazy. So many people just looking around.
It's a great idea. Should be more of it. It's public entertainment in a public space. There's no problem with
it. Coming up after the break, disastrous designs. The good.
It's a real public space.
The bad.
Totally unsatisfactory.
And the ugly.
It's a car drop-off area.
Next, where town planning has gone wrong. Stay with us. Welcome back to the Pearl Report. Many public open spaces are heavily regulated, but that's just one symptom of a bigger problem. They are not designed for people to enjoy. Producer Renato Reyes reports there's a need for a major rehaul of town planning policy. Metro Harbour View in Tai Kok Tsui. Jason Poon lives here.
I bought a flat here in 2001.
His reason?
There is open space here. It's nice.
It's posh, it's right in the heart of Kowloon, but there is an ugly side. It's not exclusively for residents. It's actually for the general public.
We are shocked. The developer didn't mention it in the brochure. So the brochure here is misleading already. A private garden, of 200,000 square feet with tropical design on the podium roof together with the clubhouse.
Henderson Land says the sales brochure clearly states that it provides within the lot areas of open space of not less than 9,800 square meters. But this is in very fine print. Jason Poon says the 9,800 square meters of public space was added to the cost of their flats.
The 3,520 owners here is sharing this open space.
Poon also says Henderson Land got more building space in return.
Over 100,000 square feet. He's talking about 450 million already.
The developer didn't get any compensation from the government. That is private land. That was private land. It still is private land. And if the tenants were misled by the developer, it has nothing to do with the government.
But they did dedicate it for public use, isn't it?
Oh, yes. They voluntarily made the offer.
And they were not given extra gross floor area for this?
No.
Under planning standards and guidelines, open public space should be easily accessible. But the Metro Harbour View public space is on the 4th floor. Only podiums under 500 square meters can be designated as public space. Open public space of 1 hectare or 10,000 square meters, like that of Metro Harbour View, should really be classified as district open space. That means 60% of it must be devoted to facilities for active recreation, such as basketball or tennis courts, 40% for passive recreation, such as sitting or Tai Chi.
We are finding here 100% passive, 0% active.
Henderson Land says it emphasizes at the outset that all the residents' allegations are denied. The developer also says both the design and location of the public open space had been approved by the government.
How could you approve a design like that? The Hong Kong Planning Standards and Guidelines do not apply, I think, to such public open spaces which are within private developments and which are dedicated for public use. Those standards and guidelines apply to government. In, for example, the Leisure and Cultural Services Department, in providing public open spaces.
Well, the public open space next to the Bank of China is government land, so the guidelines should apply.
Paul Zimmerman is the founding member of Designing Hong Kong, an urban planning think tank. He's referring to this space outside the new Bank of China building. It's government-owned, but managed and maintained by the Bank of China. And the space is fenced by chains and lacks the most basic element for an area for public use.
There's no place to sit. They should, again, use the guidelines to negotiate the agreements with the private developers. It only makes sense. Otherwise, why do we have those guidelines?
I don't think there is any government standard, mandating that, seats have to be provided in open spaces.
Equally controversial is this concourse at the IFC, which is intended for public passage.
Some space in the public passage, like the main concourse, is being let out for functions and exhibitions.
Is the IFC allowed to lease the concourse, which is dedicated for public passage, for exhibitions?
I don't think so.
A government spokesman says the IFC lease does not allow structures, placards, posters, signs for advertising purposes or materials to be placed in the concourse in a position that obstructs pedestrian movement or reduce the passage width, except with a waiver issued by the Lands Department.
I do not know whether those be let out for commercial rates. What I know is that the IFC, as the manager of that space, will have you sign a contract if you want to use it, and of course you will have to pay service fees as far as they provide services.
While its concourse is public passage, the IFC also has a public open space, and the problem there, as in many such spaces, is design.
It's not very accessible. It's a rooftop garden. It's by its mere location and the design, and by the type of services that are available. It's only for people that could afford the food and drinks that are available in the area. It should be classified as retail open space.
And Metro Harbour View's podium should be classified as residential space. That would mean taking it off the list of public open spaces and letting its function reflect its current design.
Where the public open space is really bad public open space on a rooftop, that is nobody's using it anyway, why not have the residents take it back?
Wouldn't that be retrogressive? Because now that park is open to the public. If it's privatized, if I don't get him wrong, it would revert to private ownership and it would not be open to the public.
Zimmerman says declassifying badly designed ones might pressure the government into providing more suitable public open spaces. Among the worst public open spaces is found at the Belchers in Kennedy Town.
So, do you have any permit or permission? Stop, please. Stop, please.
Stop.
So this is public open space here. This is the Belchers. And this really should not be classified as public open space. This should really be classified as circulation space. You can see that this is really designed as a car drop-off.
Stop, please, sir. Stop, please, sir. Stop, please, sir.